Oh, and this is how we get down. What's good, everybody? Welcome into a beautiful, gorgeous Monday right here. It's Coaching Company live, as always, on Stadium, Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV. The list goes on and on. Now, I am the coach, and I navigate this ship. And Mondays at BTT Studios is our busiest day, bar freaking none. Now, in addition to the morning show, we've got a podcast that accompanies the morning show around 11:15 a.m. Eastern time. Also, coming up 2 to 4 Eastern time, it is Off the Ropes with the Coach on Sirius XM, channel 156. And then it's going to be spicy today, the fastest growing show in all of YouTube and wrestling. It's the Coach and Bro Show with me and Vince Russo from JCW Wrestling. He's going to have a lot to say about John Cena, as will I, in the last night in Washington. And then tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time, it's me and the boys, the Monday Night Grind, the improving Miami Dolphins taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, over the course of the next 60 minutes, you can become a premium member at any point. But how about you do it right now? Scan that QR code. It literally pays for itself in 1 or 2 live bets, and it's an absolute blast. And we always announce on our social media what those days will be. It'll be at least 1 or 2 days this coming week. Now, over the course of the next 60 minutes, we've got our NBA showcase. 2 really big games tonight, the Pistons and the Celtics, and the Rockets and the Nuggets. We break those down. Monday Night Football, we have front page news, weekend rewind. We've got a ton. It's all brought to you by Not Without Hope, in theaters right now. You can also buy your tickets for that through the show. We throw it up there from time to time, starring Josh Duhamel. All right, I believe the housekeeping is done, which means, oh yeah, we're ready for a busy week. I see somebody in the chat saying, hey, can we go 6-0? No, but we can go 8-0. We've got 8 big picks today. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, and for those of you who are new, welcome. It's time to beat the books. Oh, it's hard to believe it's 10 days from Coachmas, December 15th. And just so you guys know, a shout out to my dad, Papa Coach. Today was the day 7 years ago that he received his heart transplant. St. Francis in Kansas City. Shout out to the hospital. Still alive and kicking today. We'll see him in 12 days. So shout out to them. We call this the Heart Day around the Coachman household and Coachman family. All right, let's introduce our team today very, very quickly. He's our numbers guy for a reason, and thank you for coming on and being part of the John Cena watch along on Saturday. The one and only Rafael Esparza. Good morning, Rafael.
Morning, Coach. Good morning, family. I can't believe Christmas is just around the corner, but I'm glad your dad is still kicking, because I could be using one of those hearts pretty soon.
I know it's an issue, but we're gonna. As long as you're here, you're going nowhere. We need you for 30 years. Now, this man is the executive producer for BetMGM. Tonight's an amazing show. Check it out. Brandon, good morning.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, company. Bears win, Packers lose, and the Spurs keep paying me that money, baby.
Wow, the Spurs sending the Thunder to their second loss. And you don't think Wemby makes a difference? Woo, watch that game a little bit. Now, he is he's one of 2 members of Weekday Wagers that is still on my good list. DG, good morning.
Morning, Coach. Morning, guys. It's Monday. It's time to turn this thing up. This is a good football game tonight. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. And finally, he is live from the dirty Big Chuck. What's good?
Morning, Coachman company. I think VAR just buzzed down. I think we just had another goal taken away. Hey, we look forward to the new week. My beloved Saints picked up a victory, swept the Panthers. What more could you ask for?
The Saints showing up. Wow. If you're the Panthers or the Bucks, what are you doing? If you're the Panthers, what are we doing? All right, we got to get to it, because we got to get to our picks, and then 15th day to Coachman. So, one very simple question. Oh, my God. All right, DJ. Brandon, you're like 4 seconds past every single time.
Every time.
I think so. I think you got the Wi-Fi lag going on. It's like, yeah. Oh, got it now. Okay. All right, DG, he wants all the smoke on a Monday. Best bet. Start us off. Go.
We're going to go to the association here. We're going Raptors and the Heat. The first quarter, over 57.5 at -110. The model has this at 62.6 points, which is a 5-point edge if you can do the math here. But both teams averaged 30-plus in the first quarter. They both allowed 29-plus in the first quarter. This game's going to go way over this 57.5 at -110. And then we're going to go to another game. This is the late game tonight. The Grizzlies going to La La Land for the Clippers. First quarter over 58.5 at -110. Model's got this 61.5. So this is just a 3-point edge. But I like this team with the Grizzlies because now John Morant's back, Zach Edey's out. That means that they're not as good on defense, but they're better on offense. So I think this thing sells over. It sold over, and there are only 2 matchups this season. I like this to go over again tonight.
Yeah, Friday night, they scored 126, gave up 130 to back up your point. All right, great start, DG. All right, Raphael, coming over to you. Best bets, go.
We're going to the Monday Night Football game first, and this one just to move 3 yards. We're taking Aaron Rodgers over 210.5. Bet MGM just moved it to 213.5 3 minutes ago. I still like this number all the way up to 215. Last week, he threw for 284 yards. I think he has back-to-back good games. I think both quarterbacks have good passing yardage games today, so I like Aaron Rodgers right now. And then give me college basketball, a light schedule, but I really like this VCU team. Give me Niagara VCU over 142. VCU is averaging 83 points per game. They're scoring 74 points or more in every game this year. Niagara got blown out by Duke. They let Duke score over 100 points. I see the same thing. Give me the over at 142.
Did you say light schedule in college basketball? Light schedule? There's not one ranked team playing tonight. Not one. Not one. And the late game, East-West University taking on Southern Indiana. And East-West University doesn't even have a record next to their name. That's the night in college basketball. Dig in, boys. Dig in. All right, Big Chuck, coming down to you. What do we got today?
La Liga, Day Soccer, Rayo Vallecano, and Betis or Betis, either or. And this is just a rinse and repeat when these two get together. A play that I take every time the both teams to score. I think at worst we see a 1-1. We had to pick up a little EPL action. Man United, Bournemouth, Cherries come to town. We always tend to see crooked numbers. We'll go ahead and take the over 3. These two have combined for 3 or more total goals in 6 straight in all competitions at the Theater of Lights.
Am I the only one that entertains? Am I the only one?
I love it.
So entertaining. So entertaining. When the Cherries come to town. All right. I love day soccer. You know I love day soccer. All right. Brandon, bring us home. 2 best bets. Let's go.
Let's go to Monday Night Football, and let's stay on Monday Night Football. Let's go Kenneth Gainwell over 49.5 rushing and receiving yards. We know how they like to check down in Pittsburgh. We know how bad Miami is at covering running backs out of the backfield, catching the football. So we're going to sit there. And then Darnell Washington, anytime touchdown, plus 320. We know that Aaron Rodgers loves this kid, and he gets him active, especially in the red zone. So Darnell Washington, anytime touchdown, plus 320.
I know we're going to dig more into Monday Night Football coming up. I'm still having a hard time wrapping my head around what is going on in the AFC. And I know this whole week we'll be hitting on it, but the Broncos are number 1 seed. Now you got the Patriots. Now the Bills come all the way back. It's just it's a bunch of nonsense. Then you got the Steelers and the Ravens at 7-7. Jacksonville's 10-4. Wow. A lot of stuff going on in the NFL. But we like to give back here at the brand as well. And we don't just want to take, we want to give. So this is, let me check my notes. Indeed, it is December 15th. That means it is day number 15 in our race to Coachmas. How can you not be in a good mood when you hear that music? All right, DG, let's start with you. What gift are we unwrapping today?
We heard from Victor Wembanyama that little unethical basketball has been happening there with the OKC Thunder. And a lot of fans, they have made the Thunder the darling of the NBA. But now we're seeing they're now going from the hero to the villain. And that shift is only imminent at this point. I love that their fall from grace, from being the NBA darling, is right on the horizon, and I love it.
Wow, look at you. So much just blackness in your NBA heart, DG. Blackness in your NBA heart. All right, Brandon, my guy, what gift are we unwrapping this morning?
Well, there's a reason why I had 2 Pittsburgh Steelers plays today, Coach. Is because Tua 0-5 in games under 40-degree weather. He and the Miami Dolphins only have 3 wins in their franchise history in games under 30 degrees. This game tonight is going to be 17 degrees at game time. Real feel is going to be 9 degrees. Bet your Pittsburgh Steelers props.
Wow, I love when those warm weather teams like Tua, and they have the long stuff all the way down, then they have the stuff around the face. All you can see is like the eyes and the nose, and you're like, don't be so soft, SAWFT. All right, Raphael, what gift, sir, are we unwrapping today?
Well, my gift is Saturday's game, the America's game, Army versus Navy. This gift just keeps on giving. I have never placed a bet on this game, but I enjoy this game. We should all enjoy this game year after year. Halftime, Army led 13-7. What happens in the second half? Navy outscores them 10-3. A 1-point victory for a fantastic game. Just a gift that keeps on giving.
All righty. I think we had a little mix up there graphically, Raphael. So we have a little tease to your weekend rewind because I also know that you're on the Jags. So we'll get to the Jags in a second. It's all a gift. It's all a gift. My gift is that for a lot of you out there that may not be paying attention, when we get to Christmas morning and you're unwrapping all of those teams that still have something to play for, think about all the teams that still have something to play for. Panthers, Jags, Texans, the Bears, the Packers, the Lions. But there's a lot of those new teams that we're not used to with all of the devastating injuries. The Cowboys and the Chiefs are eliminated from the playoffs yesterday. So we got a lot of new teams. That's our gift this Christmas season, so embrace it. And I know we didn't get Chuck on there because it was late getting in, but Chuck, I know you have a gift. What are we unwrapping this morning?
Yeah, the Grinch, he snatched my gift, but this was a kind of a re-gift as well. This is piggybacking off the Monday Night Football. This also has to do with the Dolphins. Not only has Tua struggled, but the Dolphins as a team, they're 0-12 the last 12, 40 and under the head coach regime right now. I lost his name, McDaniels. But can they buck that trend tonight with it supposedly being in the teens in Pittsburgh?
Wow. You and Brandon like-minded with your gifts, like-minded today. I don't know if it's becoming a trend, but DG, we're seeing right now when we talk about the Dolphins, you talk about the Saints, you talk about the Vikings last night. You have a lot of subpar, sub-500 teams that are still showing up and playing really hard football, and I think that is a lot to be commended, especially in the NFC South. The Saints are the most important team right now down there.
Well, a lot of these they're playing for the future, right? They're playing for a lot of these guys, they are professionals, but this is their chance to really make a name for themselves. And so if you look at, honestly, the Saints, but these other teams that are really just the up and coming teams, they want to get better. They're building for next year. They know what it is on the horizon for right there in the immediate future. They're not going to be good this year, but next year they could be. Plus, they can earn a paycheck. Like, that paycheck is big, Coach.
It's big. Yeah, by the week, it's big. I don't care how much money you make. All right, gentlemen, well done. We're just getting started. Still to come, we got NBA Showcase, 2 really big games tonight. We got Monday Night Football. We have Front Page News. We have the Weekend Rewind. We got all of it. And just starting a busy, busy day of content here at BTT Studios. Now, we are presented today in theaters. Right here, right now. You can get your tickets through the show, Not Without Hope. Starring, man, he's like a twin to me, Josh Duhamel. Come on back because we're just getting started.
Down for some deep sea fishing? Crack of dawn Saturday?
We're gonna be all right. We're 4 big, strong men.
Nicholas, it's Mom. I know you went out fishing this morning. This big storm's supposed to hit.
We have some men out in the open water.
4 men in the middle of a giant storm.
This is now a rescue mission.
No visual. Weather getting worse.
Captain, is my boy still alive?
Hope is the strongest thing that we have.
Hang on! Oh, man, it's such a good movie. Go and check it out. And thank you to those guys for trusting us for the last couple of weeks. All right, gentlemen, break number 1 topic. Well, J.J. McCarthy, when he stays healthy, My goodness, Brandon, he plays very good football. However, he did the gritty on the way into his touchdown. His coach didn't like it very much. And he goes, yeah, they told me during the week not to do it, but that made me want to do it even more. Do we like that attitude from J.J. McCarthy?
I mean, it's J.J. McCarthy. Look, J.J. McCarthy is one of those guys where he's created this persona, this like side guy who nobody knows about. It's 9, and he just does what he wants to do. He has looked good over the last 2 weeks, though. He has been really good over the last 2 weeks. So, look, why are you trying to take away from a kid celebrating a touchdown? I mean, he's playing well. Let him celebrate.
I have a tendency to feel the same way, DG.
I don't get why you would try to just say, hey, we're going to gatekeep what celebration you can or can't do. I don't care. He's a white boy trying to dance. It's never going to look that good. So let's just be honest. Let him do what any kind of move he possibly can figure out.
Facts. Raphael, I don't say you and him would be the same as far as dance moves, but I have a feeling your take.
They got the W, so he can dance all he wants. If they would have lost, then it's a totally different subject this morning. But he got the W, dance all you want.
By the way, those days, those random days where you wake up and you have a little bit more in your account than you thought. When they got the first down last night with 2:30 to go, I had the live over at 59.5, and I had the second half over 24. And I thought they were going to run the clock out. I had no idea they kicked the field goal. And then the Cowboys came back and they kicked the field goal to get it to 34-26. I had no idea until this morning. So got that solid $5 more than what I thought. Oh, my goodness. But I guarantee you there are other people like me that had the under. How pissed are you that you got 6 points in the last minute that were seemingly meaningless points? Never say die, baby. Never say die. All right, we have the weekend rewind coming up next. What are my guys looking at that really caught their focus over the weekend? We're going to find out right here and right now. We are back live on Stadium, Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV in just 5 seconds. All right, as we get closer to the holidays, it's very, very difficult for teams to focus, for teams to really dig deep, especially in the NFL when these are the most important 3 or 4 weeks heading into January, heading into the playoffs. It all looks very, very different this year. So where do we go? What do we look back on? It's time for the Weekend Rewind. All right, yet again, gentlemen, the sports, and I'm talking about the NFL, most lucrative, most expensive, biggest fan base franchise, well, they are out of the playoffs. And I'm not talking about my beloved Chiefs, who also are out of the playoffs. But DG, this is your squad. This is your team. And a couple of weeks ago, when you had that big comeback to beat the Eagles, there was a talk. Could they? Where are you headed today?
Yeah, Coach. The Cowboys suck again. Like, I don't get what we're doing there in Dallas. Like, the simple fact that Jerry Jones needs to kind of pass the torch to somebody else, anybody else at this point. I don't care who it is, because he can't find the right players. He obviously can't find the right coach because you let go of Mike McCarthy, and now you brought in Brian Schottenheimer, who does the exact same thing. But you also got to look at the players. Dak Prescott, hello, you have the most money in the entire league as a quarterback. You got to win big games. They're not winning big games. They miss in the playoffs. We suck again, Coach. I'm so done.
28 years. And there are certain things in sports that are dumbfounding to those of us that do it on the daily. The popularity of the Cowboys dumbfounds me at this point. This is a losing franchise. Let's stop acting like it's a winning franchise. They're not. They're not. They're a losing franchise. Nobody wants to admit that. Good job, DG. All right, Brandon, my guy, coming over to you, because you and Mikey P, diehard Bears fans. But there's a very fun, exciting, exhilarating race that's going on right here, right now. Where are you headed today?
Yeah, I feel for you, Coach. I feel for you, DG. I just don't know what it's like to have a team that's not going to be in the playoffs. I don't know what it's like to have a team that doesn't have a franchise that is good enough to just keep winning, because that's what the Bears are, baby. And the Bears are going to win the North. The Bears are going to win out. They're going to beat the Packers this week. They're going to walk into San Francisco and beat the 49ers, and they're going to beat the Lions in week 18. This team is going to be a top 2 seed in the NFC. The Chicago Bears under Ben Johnson, this is a new era of football. This is a new franchise. They are taking this thing to places that Bears fans have never seen before. This team is good, and it's only going to get better under the development of Caleb Williams.
You do realize what you just did right there. You do realize that you put the kiss of death, not just playoff, but not even making the playoffs.
That's a thing of the past, Coach. That's a thing of the past.
Let me remind people what you just said. The schedule that is the Bears at 10-4, a half game ahead of the Packers, and Brandon kind of slid through it. It is home to the Packers, who they just lost to, at San Francisco, a playoff team, and then home to Detroit. There's a very good chance, Brandon, you guys go 0-3 and don't even make the playoffs. Very good chance.
There's not a good chance. No chance.
Wow. All of a sudden, that tattoo on Mikey's upper back got a little bit more sore as well. You two boys and your Bears. All right, Raphael, my guy, coming over to you. What caught your attention this weekend?
I'm going to Florida. How good are these Jacksonville Jaguars? They lead the South. They're 10-4. And I'm going to take offense over defense. We all know Houston's defense really good. But if they go head to head, I'm going to take Trevor Lawrence, who threw for 5 touchdowns yesterday, 0 picks. He also led the team in rushing yesterday. This team could be a bad out for anybody in the playoffs. This Jacksonville Jaguars could be a very good sleeper. Grab future tickets right now, because this Jacksonville Jaguars team is no joke.
It's interesting, too, because they're going to go to Denver this week. Denver right now is in line for the number 1 seed. Then they go to Indianapolis, and then they're home to Tennessee. And the Titans can score, but they're not a very good football team. So it's going to be fascinating to see exactly where they end up. I think they'll go 2-1. I don't think they'll beat Denver, so that would be 12-5. I think they're a really, really good team, as I'm just kind of thinking it through. Really, really good team. All right, Raphael, thank you very much. All right, my weekend rewind, I'm going to go to the AFC East. And the Patriots, I don't know how they're going to respond from yesterday. It's one thing to lose by 4. There's another thing to have a gigantic lead at home over a team you've already beaten in Buffalo, and you blow the lead. So now in your mind, you're thinking to yourself, it doesn't matter how big of a lead we have against Buffalo. It's not big enough. And that's a very, very scary place to play from. So they absolutely need the number 1 seed more than the Denver Broncos. Why? Because they need to have 1 week where hopefully the Buffalo Bills lose, where hopefully the Buffalo Bills lay an egg, because this is going to be their kryptonite until they can prove they can get past this team when it matters the most. So right now you've got the Patriots at 11-3. You've got Denver at 12-2, although Denver has a really tough schedule coming home, but it got a little easier with the Chiefs getting knocked out and Patrick Mahomes with a torn ACL. So the Patriots, how real are you? Well, yesterday, not so much. DG, let's talk about that game for a second, because it really shifted, I think, the balance of power in the AFC. If the Patriots would have finished it off, and if they would have won, let's say 35-17, swept the Bills, moved to 12-2, how different is that than the close loss blowing a double-digit lead?
Yeah, that's big. And at this point, it opens up the door to allow Buffalo to potentially grab that the division title, but potentially the number 1 seed maybe if anybody else falters. That's a big game, because now we're looking at a division tiebreaker. If these two teams are tied now and they're head-to-head, a division tiebreaker, Patriots can't afford to lose down the stretch. They need home field advantage. They need everything, all those fans there, because this is still a young team. I don't care how good Mike Vrabel is. May is still a young quarterback. They're a young team doing things that they did not expect to do this season.
I think that's why they lost yesterday. It's because of the young, not only quarterback play, but young the play calling. You need to condense the game. They didn't do that. They could not stop that momentum. Brandon, they go to Baltimore, then they go to the Jets, and then they have Miami at home. So you've got two teams that are already making their vacation plans, and then you got a Baltimore team that can't afford any losses. So this isn't the easiest, but certainly the Patriots have it right in front of them. Couldn't ask for really anything more.
Yeah, look, I think yesterday was more about the Bills than it was the Patriots. I think it showed how good this Bills team really is. And I think it finally exposed the Patriots for what I've been saying for a little over a month and a half, is that they really haven't played a schedule this year. They haven't beat anybody this year. And now you're looking at their schedule ahead when you're looking at Baltimore, who needs this win to stay either in the race for the AFC North or to take over the AFC North. It's going to be a tough game. And now the Dolphins, who are also fighting for a playoff spot if they win tonight, now all of a sudden you find yourself playing 2 out of 3 games against teams that are trying to fight for their playoff lives. It becomes a tougher schedule. And I don't know how much I believe in this Patriots team just yet. I think they're really well coached, but I don't know how good they actually are yet.
It's funny that you bring up playoffs when you're talking about the Dolphins, because I think a lot of people have just forgotten about the Dolphins. Been like, hey, their record's so bad, they're not a playoff team. But they really kind of are. They can improve to 7-7 tonight. That'd be 2 back of the Houston Texans. Now, we always see those graphics on the games, Raphael, where it says, well, if the Texans win and they need this. So we know they need help. But as long as there's a pulse and the way Tua is playing, we saw the numbers in sub 40. I think it's going to be very difficult to figure out which Miami team shows up. But the bottom line is they're going to show up. We know that.
Yeah, they've been playing such good football. And just think about it. We were firing the head coach a month ago. We were telling Tua to get out of here. You're not a starting quarterback. And now they're fighting for a playoff spot, which the bettors love. This was 3.5 all week long. The bettors love Miami. That's why it's pretty much 3 across the board. It's going to be very interesting to see what the Dolphins do tonight.
It really is. I think it's also going to be interesting to see what the Steelers do tonight, nursing a 1-game lead. I'm looking at this, guys. I don't know that I've ever seen DG wildcard teams with this good of records. I've never seen like 2 divisions great, the other divisions, as far as records are concerned, not good. You got 3 teams, 10-10-9, 11-10-9. Have you ever seen this before in the wild card race?
No, that's the great part of all this is like there's going to be a really good team that should be a playoff team in a normal season that isn't this year, but it just shows like how good, but also how separate the league is. There's really it's top heavy because the bottom just absolutely sucks. And my Cowboys, they're one of those teams.
Yeah, I mean, it does say you got 2-2, 3-3, then you got 2-3, 4-4 in the other side. I think the Lions right now could be that team on the outside looking in, Brandon, of what DJ's talking about. They go to the Rams yesterday. They give up 41 points. And you watch Dan Campbell, and I feel like the whole thing is shifting away from, man, he's a guy you want to play for, to does he really have the qualities to be a winning head coach? And I think it's shifting more towards that.
Yeah, look, Dan Campbell, sometimes he makes decisions that boggle your mind, right? Like he'll go for it on 4th and 6 from his own 29-yard line in the second quarter, but on 4th and 4 when he's in field goal range in the other team's territory, he just stops and he takes the points instead of trying to put more points on the board and get in the end zone. And that's what cost that team yesterday. They went away from their identity. They went away from going for it. And I think that his indecisions and his indecisiveness, minus having his 2 coordinators that he had last year, I think that's starting to hurt the Lions a little bit.
Man, I love when you're on the show because I love to argue in a good, positive way. I could not disagree with you more when it comes to Dan Campbell. I appreciate when he goes for it. I just think he goes for it way too much. Way too much. I think it's cost him at least 2 games so far this year. At least 2 games. All right, we still have plenty more to talk about from the NFL and front page news. Also, we've got Monday Night Football. Let's dig a little bit deeper into the Dolphins and the Steelers. And then coming up in about 20 minutes, our 2 NBA showcase games tonight. It never stops. The grind continues. It's Coaching Company live on Stadium, YouTube, socials. Come on back. All right, you degenerates that watch on our YouTube channel, we love you so very much. That continues through the breaks. Gentlemen, Diego Pavia, how quickly can you go from babyface to heel? Well, it looks like in one tweet because DG, he loses the Heisman and then put out a tweet, F the haters. And as expected, the day after that, the team, coach, school, surely talk to him. I apologize. That's not who I am. Is it really though, DG?
Oh, that's who he is. And honestly, I saw a meme. If spray tan was a person, this is what they would look like. I love Diego Pavia and his moxie on the field. You got to learn to separate the two, because sometimes when you show really who you are, that's really who you are, and people won't get behind you then.
1000%. And he's not going to be an NFL star, Brandon. So if he wants all these companies to pay him money and to still have a living outside of NIL and Vanderbilt, he's got to be a baby face. He can't be like this.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't mind when guys are upset when they lose. I don't mind when a guy doesn't shake hands walking off a field. I don't mind when a guy doesn't shake hands walking off a court. And I don't mind when a guy tweets out when he's angry that he lost something. Now, look, should Diego Pavia have been a top 4 for the award? Yes. Should he have won the award? Absolutely not. Fernando Mendoza led an Indiana team undefeated to a Big Ten title. And Diego Pavia didn't even play in his conference championship game. So the anger might be a little bit, misplaced, but I don't fault the guy for being angry when he loses, especially an athlete.
I fault him when he says F the voters, though. To me, there's a way. I'm okay, Brandon, if he says, hey, I'm really upset. I really wanted to win that. That would have really meant something to me. But congratulations to Mendoza. To me, where I have an issue is the F the voters. 20 seconds, Raphael, for you.
Perfect example. You need two identities when you're an athlete: your identity on the field and court, and identity on social media. They should not mix.
It's a very good point. I do agree with Brandon that I like the personality. And I think in this day and age, having a little bit of an edge to you, I think can be a good thing. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to Diego Pavia moving forward. Is he going to be like a Johnny Manziel, where minus all the nonsense, or like Patrick Mahomes, who has the brother who's always getting into nonsense? He's got a little bit of all of that, boys. A little bit of all of that. All right, we got plenty more topics to get into from the weekend, but we're only about halfway home. This is Coaching Company, presented by Not Without Hope. We're back on Stadium Front Page News in 5 seconds. All right, we are just over halfway home. If you're watching us live on Stadium or YouTube or social media, it is 10:32 in the East, just 7:32 out here in the West. If you're just getting your day started, still to come. In about 15 minutes, we're looking at our 2 big games in our NBA showcase. Also, for those of you who are not here at the top of the hour, we will revisit our best bets. But, gentlemen, we had some other big stories coming out of the weekend, and we got to start with 2 torn ACLs that are not just devastating for teams. My team, the Kansas City Chiefs, Green Bay Packers, very much alive for a playoff run. And now they're going to be without their best defensive player, arguably the best in the entire league. But it's because, DG, of when it happened. This is normally a year injury, which would mean there's a possibility that neither guy plays next season. How devastating for the league is this?
It's really devastating, but this is a good time, because I know that people want to look at this and go, oh, well, it does take a full year. I think now we're seeing an expedited process in these ACL injuries. When I look at this is bigger for, right now in this season for Micah Parsons and the Green Bay Packers, but long-term, it could be a momentum shift overall for the Chiefs, because if for some reason the ACL just doesn't return and isn't great for Mahomes, you're talking about potentially the best quarterback ever to play the game is now being hampered by a bad leg. That could be devastating for his future.
Brandon.
Yeah, look, when you look at these injuries, I hate seeing injuries like this for any athlete, but especially some of the best players in the world. It's tough, man. It's tough to watch. Watching a season of the Kansas City Chiefs next year, even though I'm not the biggest Kansas City Chiefs fan in the world, it sucks not seeing Mahomes out there, not watching that guy compete, because it's fun when these guys are playing the game. Next week, the Bears are going to get the Packers without Micah Parsons. Look, am I going to miss watching him terrorize Caleb Williams? No, but I always want to beat a team when they're at their best. I always wanted to beat the Packers when Aaron Rodgers was under center. So it takes a little bit away from that. And it sucks to see these guys go down like that.
It's a great take. I think we get so caught up in numbers all the time and spreads and who's covering what that we forget about just the damn game. And just the game is a ton of fun. It's what we love. It's what we love. And when number 15 is not on the field, regardless, that's not as much fun. And that's why we love and watch these guys, especially these primetime games. Raphael, how big of a deal for you?
Oh, all last night I was looking at next year's schedule because we're going to be doing odds for Super Bowl and AFC and NFC for next year coming up. So I totally had to go from back to see what the Chiefs are going to look like. I didn't look at the Packers, but the Chiefs with number 15 gone, that makes future betting next year completely nuts.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So I'm wondering if we saw maybe one of the coolest things ever. Phillip Rivers came out of retirement after 5 years, out of shape, admittedly, but they damn near won the game. They kicked a field goal with less than a minute to go to win the game in Seattle, and the Seahawks are a very, very good football team. DG, he said afterwards it would have been the easy thing to do to not show up, but he wants kids out there, his own kids, all 10 of them, to say, you know what, Dad took that chance. Taking everything else out of it, how cool was the fact that he came back and damn near won that game?
It was the absolute coolest. But I looked at three things, Coach. I looked at one. Now he has insurance for the next 5 years, which is awesome. 2, he just got a bag just for playing one game, maybe the rest of the season. But 3, he can always brag now to his oldest of kids that even Pops has still got it. Like there's nothing cooler than that. It's just say, yeah, I still got it. I took the Seahawks to the brink, and at that point, that's braggable for sure.
Damn right, Brandon. Your thoughts on Mr. Phillip Rivers?
Hey, look, me and Phillip Rivers are the same age. I rolled out of bed yesterday and I walked up the stairs holding my back. This man was playing an NFL game and he says he was out of shape. I don't think he was out of shape at all. I think it was fun to watch. I bet his over half a rushing yard and for him to score an anytime touchdown, hoping that they would do a quarterback sneak from the goal line. I knew it was an irresponsible bet, but I had to place it anyway. It was so much fun to watch. And then watching him throw the touchdown and watching the high school team that he coaches cheer for him, it was just fun, man. It was a good time. Good for Phillip Rivers. Hopefully he plays one more.
I hope so, too. I don't know that they're going to have a backup that's going to be better at that offense, Raphael. Phil Rivers. He knows the offense. His high school team runs the offense. He was in complete control. He just doesn't have the athleticism. Not that he ever did, I guess, but you know what I mean.
The number one prop that cashed yesterday was Phillip Rivers throwing a passing touchdown. Books got crushed, but I enjoyed every second they showed the high school kids watching the game. It's just because I made fun of him all week long. A 40 for what's he doing out there playing? Hats off. He made me look like a fool. Hats off to him for throwing that touchdown pass.
All right. One other topic, because I was watching this guy yesterday. I'm like, the fact that he plays on the West Coast is the entire reason that we're not talking about Puka Nacua when we talk about Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, all of these high-level $40, $50 million wideouts. He had 9 catches, DG, yesterday for 181 yards. This dude has only gone less than 5 one time. He's had double-digit catches 4 different times, and he's as physical as any wide receiver in the entire league. Is Puka Nacua the best wide receiver right now in football?
Yes, there's no question about it. Puka is the man. He has everything you want. He has size, he has athleticism, speed. He can catch anywhere and anything. I even heard one of the announcers go, "Oh, on a drop, you won't see that very often by Puka." When you have an announcer just bragging about how you don't drop the ball, yeah, you're one of the best for sure.
Damn right. Brandon, where do you put Puka Nacua?
Yeah, look, he's definitely top 5. He might be number 1. I think you could put the top 5 receivers in a bag, and I don't think you can argue either way whether or not you're exactly right on where he's at. But, I mean, he's top 5 for sure, and the dude just catches passes, man. He's got Matthew Stafford throwing him dimes, too. He's just fun to watch, man. That entire offense is fun to watch.
Yeah, I love when he catches a big one. He goes, "This is Mike. This is Mike." He doesn't say, "This is my house. This is Mike." Raphael, where do you have Puka Nacua?
No, number one, watch him run routes is just brilliant. And I just love how he goes to the middle of the field and takes hits. He doesn't escape to the sideline and step out of bounds. He takes the hits. Number 1 in my book.
All right, let's bring my man Chuck back into the conversation because we've got to roll it into Monday Night Football tonight. Of course, Monday Night Grind, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. But Big Chuck, let me start with you because tonight you got the Dolphins still faint playoff hopes alive, and then you got the Steelers who are sitting in first place in the AFC North. So, Big Chuck, where are you heading with your handicapping for this game?
I was going back and forth with this one, but I just can't get away from the Dolphins doing so poorly in cold weather. I definitely like the Steelers in this one, even though the Dolphins have won 4 straight. I still have to lean with Pittsburgh, and I'm seeing some points. I think we could see turnovers, short fields, definitely field goals. I think we see some sneaky points. I'm liking the Steelers in the over.
Brandon, you also, like Chuck, had leaned into the cold narrative. Do you agree with that take?
I think there's going to be a lot of running the ball tonight. That's why I kind of like the under, but I wouldn't hate the over either. But I think that Devon Achane is going to be leaned on with the Miami Dolphins, considering how poorly Tua plays in cold weather. And I think that the Steelers are going to lean a lot on Jalen Warren tonight. I think you're going to see a lot of numbers. I like those guys as overs. I like the Steelers tonight as well. I'm kind of iffy on the over under.
Raphael, does this number move throughout the day before we get to Monday Night Grind?
I think it stays at 3. The money line of Pittsburgh's interesting. On -3, the money line's -165. It's 10 cents more. That's telling me the public loves Pittsburgh money line. They don't want to take the points. And all the public took the +3.5 with Miami. So if we do see something change, look at the money lines before you make your bet.
Yeah, I love when you point that stuff out because that's really how you tell. Because most games are -145, -150 on the money line when it's a 3. But DG, this is also what we have to remember: Steelers, Packers, Cowboys. They are the blue bloods in the NFL, and people love to bet on them.
Yeah, that is the biggest thing. And you honestly have the reminder now from so many people saying Tua can't win in the cold. They can't do anything. I think that this game is going to completely shift the narrative around Tua and the Dolphins because this game, I think, is ripe for the picking for Miami to win outright there in Pittsburgh.
If Big Chuck, the Dolphins can come out and jump out to an early lead, let's say 3-0, 7-0, does that play into maybe the over coming in? Because we've seen cold weather games that don't feed into the under narrative sometimes.
I definitely think them getting out to a lead is beneficial for them, period, especially with Achane, because they don't want to be playing from behind because with Achane, that's really their bread and butter going forward at this point, controlling the ground game. I still think we're going to see turnovers, short fields, and that's where I'm seeing the points. I think we're going to get the points coming in. I think we're seeing some of those interceptions, maybe even a pick six, a crucial fumble, anything like that.
Oh, you said the word point. If I have to look at Aaron Rodgers point to the sidelines after he does something good, my head's going to pop off my shoulders because, Brandon, I can't stand it when he does something good and does that. What about you?
Look, I'm a Bears fan who watched Aaron Rodgers destroy his team for his entire career. So I'm with you. I hate the point as well. I hate watching Aaron Rodgers do anything well, and it sucks because he's a top 5 quarterback of all time. So he pretty much does everything well.
DG, does he annoy you?
Man, the only thing that is annoying about Aaron Rodgers is I don't see the discount double check anymore. If you give me that, I will always be an Aaron Rodgers fan. I love Aaron Rodgers. I love the moxie he has, the petty machete forever. So, yes, I love Aaron Rodgers.
He's petty machete, DG, because since he's no longer with State Farm, he won't do the discount double check because he's not getting a check for it. That's petty. That was the greatest thing you ever did. The greatest thing you ever did.
Yep.
There's a reason they took you out of those commercials and put in, let me check my notes. Megan Trainor. Yes, Megan Trainor got his spot. Raphael, do you complete the Aaron Rodgers annoyance meter?
I love Aaron Rodgers when I need to love him. If I have Pittsburgh at -3, I love Aaron Rodgers. So that's how I look at Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, my goodness. What are they at right now? When you look at Pittsburgh quickly, they're scheduled left. Miami tonight, at Detroit, at Cleveland, then Baltimore. Not the hardest, but certainly not a walkover by any stretch of the imagination. Gentlemen, well done today on Front Page News and Monday Night Football. Reminder, 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight is the Monday Night Grind. All right, still to come here on the show. If you weren't here at the top of the show, that's okay. We understand you got a life, you got jobs, all that kind of stuff. We lock in our best bets, and I've got this gut feeling we're going to have 5 straight winning days here at the brand, and also 2 big games tonight on Peacock. So we dive in our NBA showcase, and I'll be honest, the NBA has been very, very entertaining to me. We do all of that next. This is Coach and Company, just getting a very busy day started right here on Stadium, Bally Sports Live. Come on back. Gentlemen, somehow Nebraska is starting to get headlines over the weekend. What was more surprising? Nebraska basketball men's staying undefeated, going to Illinois. My guy, Brad Underwood, a fellow alma mater person with me, or their number one ranked volleyball team going down before the Final Four next week in Kansas City. DG, I'll come to you.
Yeah, my take is I have no idea about any of this volleyball or any softball or any other sports if it's not basketball or football. And
It was basketball.
It was. I thought you said it was volleyball.
I said men's basketball. I said which was more surprising. The men's basketball beating. Did I not, Brandon, say that?
I didn't listen. That's on me.
Brandon, please.
It's definitely the basketball team. Look, going into Illinois, that was definitely one of those things because Illinois is not that team this year. Illinois doesn't have that team. They're young and they're trying to get better, and they will be better in a year or two. But the volleyball team, man, look, there's a lot of really good volleyball teams in that tournament. I've covered the volleyball. I covered Chicago State volleyball at the NEC. There's a lot of good volleyball teams in that bracket, so that didn't surprise me that much.
All right, Raphael?
Yeah, I think it's their basketball team because if you look at Big Ten, you always think of Michigan, Indiana, Purdue is the number one team. You never think of Nebraska. I still think Nebraska as a football team, and they haven't done anything in their football program. So it's got to be their basketball program.
Very true. I got about 15 seconds for you, Big Chuck. What's more surprising?
I would have to say Nebraska basketball. I was surprised they were undefeated in the first place, but I'm always a Mr. Underwood fan to the death. I mean,
my guy, Brad Underwood, played with his brother TJ all the way back in high school. I want to thank Brandon and Raphael and Big Chuck for listening to the question this morning. I certainly do appreciate that. All right, still to come. We dive into a night where I believe there's only, five NBA games and 5 NHL. But we'll find value. We'll give you a little education, a little entertainment. Hashtag stays on your toes, all that good stuff. We're back live. 5 seconds. All right, so the finals in the NBA Cup are set. But tonight we've got 5 games in the NBA, and DJ, I'm going to start with you. We have our number 1 seed, Detroit Pistons, and the number 3 ranked or seeded Boston Celtics. It's a really good matchup. The Celtics favored by 2.5 at home. The total sitting at 230.5. Your take?
Yeah, both these teams are really good now. And honestly, Boston isn't that great, but they're really good for what they are right now in the regular season. These two teams, they cover the spread like crazy. And so this is a coin flip game for me. I trust Detroit better because they have the better big. They have the better player, in my opinion, Cade Cunningham. So I would trust Detroit in this game overall.
Yeah, Brandon, the last 3 games, Detroit, they've won all 3. They scored 122, 124, 142. They're turning into an over team as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the last time that these two teams played, it was the Celtics won by 3. It was 117 to 114. The Detroit Pistons still score points no matter who they're playing. I don't think there's a defense in this league that can shut this team down. And Cade Cunningham is, to me, a top 5 player in the league right now. And I think that the Pistons are live in this game. I love the Pistons being plus money in this one.
Big Chuck, who would have thought the Pistons would be winning at an 800 clip through 25 games?
2 of the hottest teams in the league, and I was kind of surprised to see the Pistons as dogs. They were favorites the last time these two played, and the Celtics got the money. I'm wondering if this is a trap. It was 1.5 at 2s. Now we're seeing 2.5s, and the total was 131. Now we're seeing a 230. I'm thinking if it's a lower scoring game, it's going to benefit Boston. Higher scoring game, it's all about the Pistons.
Yeah, I agree with that. Raphael, what about you?
Don't forget, last time we saw the Celtics at home, they beat the Lakers 126-105. They're a good home team, and they've covered 8 out of their last 10. If I can get less than 2, I might take the Celtics tonight.
All right, very, very good. That's the early game on Peacock at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Then the late game on Peacock, this is a big one. The Rockets are a really, really good team this year. Right now, they're currently the 3 seed. The Nuggets are the 2 seed. So it's basically DG a pick 'em. We're laying 1.5 in the NBA. That normally doesn't matter, but the total this is kind of where the Nuggets have been. The sweet spot is 235 to 240. Your take?
I really like the Rockets tonight. You look at what they do away from being in Houston. They're 9-3, but also Denver. They're only 4-5 against the spread at home. I really like this Houston team who's playing well without Kevin Durant. I think that they're going to have an upset tonight on the road.
Sometimes it's a diamond in the rough, Brandon, when you lose a star and you figure out who else is going to be your number 2 and your number 3 scorers by the time you get to the playoffs and you still win games. That's exactly who the Rockets have been.
Yeah, that's who the Rockets have been, but that's also who the Nuggets have been too. I mean, when Jokic was down, the Nuggets were finding ways to win games too. I like the Rockets tonight, though. I think the Rockets are a better shooting team. I think that they are more poised, especially in the paint. Like, they can get down in that paint. They drive the ball to the net like nobody's business. So I like the Rockets.
They've got a couple of players that are incredible athletes, Raphael, that if people haven't watched them yet, you want to tune into this game tonight.
Yeah, because there's a guy named Joker that's still out there that no one's talking about because we're all talking about Wemby and OKC. I like the Joker tonight. They're one of the highest scoring teams in the league, and they get this one in their backyard. I'll take the Nuggets.
Big Chuck, what about you?
I'm liking the Rockets side. This is a get back. If you remember, the Nuggets come to H-Town last month and defeated them, and this total is kind of popping to me. Also, it was 233. Now we're seeing some 236s. I'm liking the Rockets, and now a potentially higher scoring game.
I like it also that it's late. I like that maybe if you win early, double down just a little bit. Who knows? All right, gentlemen, well done. Now I told you I want 5 winning days, but it's got to start with today. So without further ado, it's time to lock it in. All right, 10 seconds or less. 1 or 2 nuggets is all that I need. DG, start us off.
Let's go with 2 first quarter plays. Raptors and the Heat. The first quarter over 57.5 at -110. I like this with both teams giving up a lot as well as scoring a lot here in the first quarter. They go over this 57.5. And then the Grizzlies and the Clippers first quarter over 58.5 at -110. We don't know about James Harden's ability in this game or availability in this game, but I do think that this team and both of these teams going to get up and start it early in this game and go over the 58.5.
10 seconds or less. 1 or 2 nuggets is all that I need. Raphael, start us off.
You mean Aaron Rodgers over 210 passing yards last time we saw him on the field? He threw for 284, so I see back-to-back good games for Rodgers. And then give me Niagara, VCU, in college basketball over 142. VCU Rams are 7-1 on the over this year, and they're averaging almost 84 points a game.
Did you say Viagra and VCU?
I said Niagara.
Oh, Niagara. Oh my God. I got to start paying attention. Too many people around here not doing that today. Big Chuck, give it to me.
Day soccer, La Liga, Rayo Vallecano, Batiste. These two get together. They just a rinse and repeat play. The both teams to score. It's cashed in 10 of the last 12. Then the EPL, Man United, Bournemouth, Cherries, Red Devils put up crooked numbers at Old Trafford. 3 or more in 6 straight in all competitions. We'll back the over 3.
All right, Brandon, bring us home.
Yeah, let's go Kenneth Gainwell tonight. Over 49.5 rushing receiving yards. The way he cut, you might get that on 1 touch. And then let's go Darnell Washington, anytime touchdown. One of Rodgers' favorite targets in the red zone. That's plus 320 tonight.
All right, very, very good. I see. I think we're going to go 7-1. I think we're going to go 7-1 tonight. Plenty more picks coming up on the Monday night grind tonight as well. All right, Raphael, make me a little bit smarter.
We're going to Monday Night Football because the total has gone over in 6 of the Pittsburgh Steelers' last 7 Monday Night Football games.
Did you say 6 out of the last 7?
Yes, I did that on purpose,
DG.
Coach.
Come on. Nope. Thank you. Thank you very much, DG. Oh, the blackness in your heart right now. The blackness in your heart.
You do not have young kids at home, guys. Both of you too. And so you don't hear it every single day. I do. I told them I'm going to make it uncool.
I have teenagers.
Yeah, but they're not young, annoying ones.
By the way, Do you want to know? Because Brandon, you're going to laugh at this as the executive producer. I have First Take on over here, and the topic bar says, "Is this season a disappointment for the Dallas Cowboys?" What are we 6-7-1, 28 years of nothing, and that's a topic? That's a topic, DG. They're your squad.
Yeah, that's obvious. That's obvious. Everybody knows that we suck again. Like, that's what happens. It's horrible.
Brandon, when you're producing a show and it's that low-hanging fruit, of course it's a disappointment.
Especially nowadays, that lower third should say they're 6-7-1.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's going to drive DG insane. Insane. Big Chuck, your thoughts?
I mean, they still have a 1% chance of making the playoffs. They could turn this all around.
Stop.
You did not really just say that. Tell me you did not just say that.
There's always hope, DG. There's always hope.
Can you imagine? Like, when they need 8 things to happen and all 8 things. Don't get me started. They're done. They stink. Or as DG, like, they
suck again.
They suck again. Damn it. All right, gentlemen, well done today. Well done today. Producer man, I got to set the stage for our busiest day of the week. Do not forget, we've got a live podcast on YouTube and social media. You can listen to it audio only, video around 11:15 a.m. Eastern time. Doing a lot more sports talk, less betting right now. Also, 2 to 4 Eastern time, Off the Ropes, Sirius XM, channel 156. You're going to hear my boy, or your boy, me, ranting today about John Cena and that travesty. And then at 5 p.m. Eastern time, it's the Coach and Bro Show. Then at 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight, it is the Monday Night Grind. Me, Mikey P, Raphael, Big Tommy C, breaking down everything Monday Night Football. In the meantime, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My entire team, damn it, do I love them all? DG, Brandon, Big Chuck, Raphael, producer man, always behind the scenes, and Mikey P helping out as well. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's what we're all about. Brought to you by Not Without Hope, in theaters right now, every single day right here on Stadium. Have a great day. We'll see you later.